Hello, and welcome back to the First Ever Incident, where we dive into the incredible stories of firsts in history. Today, we're unraveling the fascinating tale of Ada Lovelace, a name that resonates deeply in the world of technology and computing. Often recognized as the first computer programmer, Ada's story is filled with innovation, vision, and a touch of mystery. So, let's journey back to the 19th century and discover why Ada Lovelace's legacy is still celebrated today. Ada Lovelace was born Augusta Ada Byron on December 10, 1815, in London, England. The only legitimate child of the famous poet Lord Byron, Ada's life was anything but ordinary. Her mother, Lady Annabella Byron, was a mathematician herself, often called the Princess of Parallelograms. She insisted on Ada receiving an education in mathematics and science, hoping to steer her away from her father's more poetic and unstable tendencies. Ada Lovelace's importance in computing history stems from her work with Charles Babbage, the inventor of the Analytical Engine. This mechanical general-purpose computer predated the electronic computers we know today. What makes Ada extraordinary is not just her ability to understand complex mathematics, but her visionary insights into what computers could do. She foresaw a future where machines could do more than just crunch numbers. They could create music, art, and possibly more. This foresight places her at the heart of computing history. Ada Lovelace and Charles Babbage shared a professional and intellectual partnership that greatly influenced her work. Babbage, often referred to as the father of the computer, first met Ada when she was introduced to him at a party in 1833. She was captivated by his plans for the Analytical Engine, a machine that was, at that time, a revolutionary concept. Their relationship was one of mentor and protege, but it evolved into a collaborative partnership where Ada's brilliance shone. Babbage admired Ada's ability to grasp the complexities of his engine, and he affectionately called her the Enchantress of Numbers. They exchanged letters filled with discussions about mathematics, engineering, and the potential of Babbage's machine. Ada Lovelace's status as the first computer programmer is primarily based on her notes on the Analytical Engine, which included the first algorithm intended to be processed by a machine. In 1843, she translated an article on the Analytical Engine written by an Italian mathematician, Luigi Menabrea. But Lovelace didn't just translate, she expanded upon the original work significantly, adding her thoughts and ideas, which were 3 times longer than the original article. In these notes, labeled alphabetically from A to G, Ada wrote what is now considered the first computer program, an algorithm for the Analytical Engine to calculate Bernoulli numbers. She meticulously detailed how the machine would handle these calculations, laying out a step-by-step process that essentially functioned as software code. This work cements her legacy as the world's first programmer. The Analytical Engine was an ambitious mechanical device designed by Charles Babbage, often described as a precursor to the modern computer. It featured elements such as an arithmetic logic unit, control flow in the form of conditional branching and loops, and memory, concepts that are fundamental to today's computers. Ada Lovelace's role was not in building the machine, but in conceptualizing how it could operate. Through her notes, she illustrated that the machine could follow a sequence of operations to perform calculations, essentially a program. What's even more remarkable is her understanding that the Analytical Engine could go beyond mathematics. She imagined a future where such a machine could manipulate symbols, not just numbers, predicting that it could one day compose complex music or art. A revolutionary idea at a time when most people couldn't even fathom the idea of a computer. Ada Lovelace's most famous algorithm was designed to compute Bernoulli numbers, a complex sequence of numbers important in number theory. Her algorithm wasn't just a simple calculation. It involved loops, logical sequences, and data management, concepts integral to modern programming languages. While the Analytical Engine was never completed, Lovelace's algorithm demonstrated how a machine could be programmed to execute a series of instructions autonomously. Her work showed that the Analytical Engine was not limited to a single task, but could be configured to perform any number of calculations, making it an actual general-purpose computer in design. Unlike most of her contemporaries, who saw the Analytical Engine as nothing more than an advanced calculator, Ada Lovelace envisioned its broader potential. She famously wrote that the machine weaves algebraic patterns, just as the jacquard loom weaves flowers and leaves. This analogy highlighted her understanding that the machine could manipulate abstract symbols. She was one of the first to articulate the concept of artificial intelligence. Although she didn't believe a machine could genuinely think, independently. Nonetheless, her understanding of symbolic manipulation laid the foundation for future generations to explore computing beyond mere mathematics, influencing fields as diverse as artificial intelligence, data science, and digital art. In the 19th century, women were largely excluded from formal scientific and mathematical education. Despite these barriers, Ada's privileged background allowed her access to private tutors and mentors who nurtured her talents. However, her work was still often overshadowed by the achievements of her male counterparts, and she was sometimes dismissed as an anomaly rather than a serious scientist. Despite these societal constraints, Ada Lovelace persisted. Her mother's insistence on rigorous education and her determination to pursue mathematics allowed her to break through many of the barriers of her time. Still, her contributions were not fully recognized during her lifetime and only gained proper appreciation many decades after her death. Ada's passion for mathematics was sparked early in her childhood, fueled by her mother's strict upbringing and the influence of several prominent tutors, including Mary Somerville, one of the leading scientific authors of her time. She had a natural affinity for mathematics, often describing it as a creative and poetic language. Her meeting with Charles Babbage ignited her interest in computing. Still, it was her innate curiosity and love for learning that drove her deeper into the abstract and conceptual world of mathematics. She was inspired not just by numbers, but by the potential of what numbers could do, a concept that would eventually lead her to make groundbreaking contributions to computing. Ada Lovelace's legacy is immense. She laid the groundwork for programming by conceptualizing what computers could achieve beyond numerical calculations. Today, she is celebrated not just as the first programmer, but also as a symbol of innovation, vision, and breaking barriers. Her ideas have inspired generations of computer scientists, and her legacy is honored annually on Ada Lovelace Day, a celebration of women in STEM. Her story reminds us how visionaries can change the world, even if their work goes unrecognized in their own time. Beyond her mathematical genius, Ada Lovelace had a profoundly complex personal life. She was fascinated by the idea of flight, and she once designed a flying machine based on bird anatomy as a young girl. She also struggled with health issues throughout her life, including migraines and a severe illness that eventually claimed her life at just 36 years old. Despite her early death, Ada's work has endured. A century after her notes were published, the United States Department of Defense named a computer language Ada in her honor. Her story is a testament to how a single individual's vision can influence the course of technology and history. Ada Lovelace's story is not just about the birth of programming. It's about seeing potential where others do not. She envisioned a future where machines could transcend mere calculations, and that vision has been realized in ways she could have only dreamed of. Her legacy continues to inspire us to think beyond the possible and to imagine a future not yet written. Thank you for watching First Ever Incident. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more incredible stories of firsts in history. Let us know in the comments what you think about Ada Lovelace and her extraordinary journey as the first computer programmer. See you next time.